Hello and welcome to BOI Weekly. I'm Kayode Alayode. Gone are the days when the housing industry was left with very limited options in terms of building materials. You can easily talk about sand, clay, wood, and of course cement. But the story is much more different today with a wider range of faster and more cost-effective options. One of such is the polystyrene technology. It's an interesting but versatile material which has now found full expression in industries and subsectors like housing and construction, medicine and health, and interestingly, food packaging. The Bank of Industry recognizes the huge layer of linkages and opportunities in polystyrene. That's why they invested about £500 million in an indigenous company located within the Idu Industrial Estate here in Abuja, the nation's capital. The warehouse and set of panels that you're seeing behind me are just a few expressions of what you can do with polystyrene. Come with me into the very interesting and exciting world of the polystyrene technology. Polystyrene is a material made by stringing together or polymerizing styrene to form a building block of chemical which can be used to manufacture many other kinds of products for different uses. For many, especially in this part of the world, polystyrene is solely used for packaging. But as a hard, solid plastic, it is often used in transparent products such as food packaging and laboratory wear. And when combined with various colorants or other plastics, polystyrene comes in handy in making certain automobile parts, toys, and the list of possibilities with polystyrene is endless. A few years back, the Bank of Industry discovered a privately owned indigenous company dedicated to bringing Nigerians the full benefits of endless possibilities to which one can put polystyrene, and BOI supported the enterprise. Polystyrene Industries is a limited liability company incorporated in April of 2010 with the aim of producing high-quality polystyrene products for the Nigerian market, finding expression in construction, food packaging and processing, and of course housing, as we have come to find out on this excursion to their factory located within the Idu Industrial Area, Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
Now, why did BOI have to assist us to do this one? Because we were dying from getting so little construction work.
With a burst of energy and passion, the MD CEO, Mr. Hamza Atta, is glad to show us the various ways his company has given expression to polystyrene.
Disposable plates. And you see, we have 4 molds of those. So we're able to produce 4 at a time. So if you calculate 4 times 10 seconds every day, that's how we're able to do it. So we will expand the machinery depending on requests. Now this is the polystyrene bead, okay?
So this is the main raw material?
This is the main raw material. It comes in different sizes, in different grains. It can come as food grade, it can come as a flammable, or it can come as a fire retardant. Now this material that we buy is only fire retardant grade, okay? Because I use it for building. So just so that I don't make any mistake, I just import fire retardant material or the other material in the other factory there. Now, the beauty of this material is that it has something called pentane gas inside.
Pentane gas.
Pentane gas, okay? Now, this gas inside, if you heat up the bead to a particular temperature, right? In this machine called the pre-expander here, it can expand this material to various densities.
Oh, this is the other side.
This is where he's expanding it from. right? Then it goes into the silos over there for drying. You see?
Ah, I see.
Okay?
Wow.
So that's the silo.
Oh.
Look at this. Look how light this is.
So these are the more compact.
That's what he tells me. Come on, hit this one. Can you see that? And that's just 20. So if it was 25, it would be stronger. If it was 30, it would be even stronger. It would be like stone. Polystyrene is an amazing compressive material. POP, cheap and affordable, and light, so it will not fall off the building. Like what you are casting, all the mess on the site, this is already pre-formed. And I can produce this in any shape that you give me as an architect. But I need volume. Why do I need volume? Because the mold will cost me $15,000. So I can't make a mold unless I know I'm going to be repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? That's a cooler with some color, because people were complaining that it's getting dirty. So we've ordered some pigment now to make it gray, but I can make it green, I can make it purple, I can make it red, I can make it any color that you like. Now, this is EPS. This is the same material that I've been showing you. We can decorate buildings. We have materials for hard coating. So you will think it's stone. So sometimes you see some buildings outside, you think somebody has cast this out of concrete. It is just foam. When you go to Dubai, they just stick them on the building. And because it's non-biodegradable, it's never going to rust, it's never going to spoil, it's never going to mold. Do you understand? So we do columns. You can just cast your column square, and I can make it any shape you want on the outside. Look at this. This is the base of a column. And then look, imagine all the woodwork. What you have to do.
A column actually.
No, I'm just cladding the column with it. So you cast the column, then I just stick this onto the outside. Look at that. Yeah, wow. Look at that. That's a whole parapet before it's coated. You know, before the roof of a building. Right? Normally, you have to put iron, you have to put wood before you cast it, then you take it off, then you have to plaster it. This one, by the time we finish, and I'll show you some samples, it's already perfect. This is one of my best sellers. When it is coated, I'll show it to you when it is coated.
For Polystyrene Industries Limited, it's not a monopoly. Theirs is about empowerment, partnership, job creation, and support for others in the value chain.
We have programs here where we teach developers, we teach builders how to use the panel, because you can achieve so much more.
How to incorporate it.
Absolutely. And the buildings are far more comfortable. So it's just a win-win situation for everybody. That's the magic we're doing here. Now let's go into some buildings.
I thought that was all until he asked to take me into an entire building made largely from polystyrene. Another interesting thing about polystyrene is that they are very durable. He tells me this very cast has been sitting out here for the last 15 years.
You can see my building. Of course, it's a mini building, but you can see that my building is all tied together everywhere with reinforcement. Yes, very light. You can carry it easily. In fact, I'll show you a picture of when I was carrying it here. But that's the first polystyrene building that was built in Nigeria.
You tell me this is a polystyrene building?
Yes.
End to end?
Yes.
All right. How many percentage cheaper would you say this is compared to if you were to use the traditional cemented block?
Now, I cannot talk about windows and doors and finishing.
Okay.
I can only talk about the structure.
Yes.
And this is talking numbers here. I can save you 20% of the cost of a traditional building.
20%?
Yes, and I can do it in half of the time. This is a little sample of a concrete parapet that you put on a normal building that you're building, right? It's just decorative. It's not giving you any structural integrity in your building. In fact, it costs you more money to be able to carry it on your building. So when we talk about what savings can we make for you, please attempt to carry this section. Okay?
Well, it's some weight.
Right. Back-breaking weight, right?
Absolutely.
Now try my sample, which is twice the length of that one.
Can you move back a bit?
Absolutely.
I'm
Put your
yanking
back in it.
I'm yanking it up. Can you see this? This is fantastic. This is
It's a strong man.
fantastic. I'm a strong guy.
Okay. Now come to my IDP building. This is a 2 million naira building. Without the tiles.
So what's the volume and variety of production in this company? The general manager, Mr. Abubakar Tanko, explains.
Polystyrene Industries Limited uses polystyrene, expanded polystyrene material and galvanized steel wire for the production of wall panels, slabs, and moldings for building application. Also, we have polystyrene application in shape molding, in agri products, in medical packaging application, and we also have polystyrene in food packaging. So there are different applications of polystyrene materials that we produce from Polystyrene Industries Limited. Our panels are made out of polystyrene of density 17 kilogram per cubic meter, and the tensile strength of the galvanized wire is about 750 megapascal, 750 Newton per millimeter square. This is the tensile strength of the galvanized wire that we use for the mesh panels.
Talking about job creation, we also found out that Polystyrene Industries Limited has within its employ 2 generations of employees from the same family. Beginning from the lower rung of the ladder at the company decades ago, Mr. Emianto Felix has risen to become a supervisor at Polystyrene Limited. He has also raised his children over the years with income from his job, one of whom is Victory Felix, a graduate of accountancy. She has now been employed at Polystyrene in the accounts department. They're both proud to be a part of the culture of excellence here.
Since 2002, I've joined this company. So I use this company. I work here and train my children. I get a lot of things from this company.
Shortly after the tour of the factory, I settled down with the partners of Polystyrene Limited, first with the executive director of the company, Mr. Onome Sedeso, who talks about the business case for polystyrene in Nigeria and the value of the Bank of Industry's intervention.
It is absolutely transformational. We have a business here that can have an enormous impact economically across the nation. You're looking at a material, a system that we've set up here that can address all your housing needs, address your food and beverage sector, address your packaging sector, address your civil construction sector, and create thousands and thousands and thousands of employment across the nation. What we do and everywhere we go, we have training programs and technological transfer locally. So, I mean, I can't possibly even put a value on the commercial potential of what we started here. We went to the Bank of Industry to try and ramp up our capacity. This was 3 years ago. Now, why did we do that? This goes back to what I said earlier on. We came here, we're purely built to service the construction sector and address the huge deficit in our housing market. But we were only achieving probably 45% of my capacity. at best. So we now thought, okay, how do we make an impact in Nigeria? What are the other industries that can benefit from our technology? And at that stage, we were now looking at the agricultural sector was being actively pursued, actively raised by the federal government. And we have all the basic tools in place. We have the technology know-how. We are here in Nigeria. So we had to look for a partner that wasn't going to bite our head off financially. And a partner that we believe will support us through the ups and downs. As you know, that will happen, different challenges happen in business. And so BOI was the right partner. So we sat down, spoke to the BOI Bank of Industry, told them, look, this is the market we need to address now. We need to address the food and beverage sector. We need to address the agricultural sector and be able to service them, to bring them up to speed in terms of international standards, efficiency, and competitiveness. So that's what led to us sitting down with BOI and forming the partnership.
Afterwards, the MD-CEO, Mr. Hamza Atta, speaks about how Nigeria could maximize this wonderful material for development, industry, and job creation.
We were coming here to support the government. We were coming here to support the government in delivering on its promises. So the beauty for me is that we ended up traveling all over the country, meeting governor after governor, and telling them what we wanted to do. We had one or two successes, but we found that the dominant force in Nigeria, the meritocracy in Nigeria, is the private sector. It's made me understand Nigeria. Nigeria is about a network. There's a political network, and they're like a family, and they kind of stick together and support each other. Then there's the rest of us, okay? And honestly, we have survived over the last 20 years servicing the private sector. And it's been an amazing journey because they've driven us to push the material to its full potential. Don't forget I told you that we came here with the mesh panel building technology. And you've been into the plant now and seen how many other divisions we have. This has been driven out of necessity. So we built panels in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, in Akwa Ibom, in Cross River, in Maiduguri, in Yola, in Birnin Kebbi. You know, I go to places and then I see my material because people now have embraced it and come to buy from all over the country and outside Nigeria. This is the first time you've been to the plant and you see that it is magic here. And sometimes people have to see before they will believe. But what is wonderful is that our customers are our best ambassadors. That once we've done something once, they go and scream out everywhere to say, come and see what these guys are doing. And we've able that way to start conquering the market. Now more and more and more, we're getting the kind of brief that we expected to be getting 20 years ago. But in terms of our emotional being and what we felt was our core job to provide this affordable housing to the people at the bottom of the pyramid, there are many issues. There's the borrowing cost of money in Nigeria, the fact that we don't have proper mortgage schemes in place yet, even though happily it is something that is beginning to start. Nigerians' pockets are very shallow. Our naira is weak. It just got devalued again, I think 3 years ago. That was a big sting in our throats because we produce here. So you devalue the naira, it costs us more to buy things from the outside to bring them in. So you find that the target market that we have, you get a very small percentage of Nigerians who will qualify because they need to get up to a certain level before they can qualify for that level. And really, that's the kind of volume that one wants to do. That's where we get real satisfaction in the delivery. And I think you'll find that most construction and civil engineering companies in Nigeria have to have heavy equipment because the nature of steel and cement is heavy. And we stumbled across this company who was doing these insulated meshed panels. And it was fascinating. It was fascinating why? Because they were primarily using this material for post-disaster areas. and earthquake zones. And they explained to us the technology of tying this mesh together, but at the same time insulating it and demonstrating how light it was to move. So two people could easily move around these panels and build a house. So we thought, wow, perfect. So all the outlying parts of Nigeria, it would be very easy for us to transport these panels and be able, critically, to build quality, affordable housing using the local population every time. So that once you have one or two experts, the local people can learn how to do this themselves. And the idea was we would now transport these panels to all over the country, and wherever there was a big need, we could build a new plant and put it there instead. Now, why polystyrene and why this panel? As I said, it was so light and the technology was just magical. I mean, you went into the plant earlier and you saw how the wires are pulled out from like thread and stitched together on a panel. So the whole thing was just fascinating for us. So we were looking at this thinking, wow, we almost didn't believe it ourselves. So we just thought, wow, this is going to be so amazingly embraced in Nigeria, and it's going to revolutionize and help us to build this Abuja and make it the dream that we Nigerians want it to be. You know, in those days, in 99, 2000, Dubai was all the rage. But you know, Abuja started at the same time as Dubai, you know, and we are Nigerians, you know. We are the hope of the black race. It's all about us, you know. So we wanted to be part of showing the whole of the black race that we too can do this. Yeah? And that's why we chose this particular system. It's fantastic. It will not collapse. It is earthquake proof. It is hurricane proof. The mean temperature inside the building is 23 degrees. People are busy buying air conditioners to cool to 18, 19, and 20 degrees. The mean temperature inside our building is 20 degrees, and you know what the power situation is like in Nigeria. So when you want people to live comfortably and affordably, and the price of power is increasing every day, then this is really the only answer. And those are the factors that made us choose this particular technology. This industry can really revolutionize the workforce here in Nigeria. I think right now, just in the plant, we employ 92 people. With one real estate job in Nigeria, we could be employing 1,000 people. And you can carry on like that. There's the women who are supplying the aggregates, the sands, the paints. It's all a sequence. It all just continues. It's just a sequence when you start working.
I hope this edition inspires you to embrace the polystyrene technology in whatever shape or form that you may have seen today. But more importantly, I want you to understand that if the Bank of Industry can support Polystyrene Industries Limited, they can and will support you. Call at the Bank of Industries branches closest to you, and they're located everywhere in the country today. You can also reach out to the Bank of Industry or follow them on all their various social media platforms displayed on the screen. You can find previous editions of the program on youtube.com. Simply type BOI Weekly in the search area, and there you go. And that will be our package on the program today. I'm Kayode Alayande. Thank you very kindly for following.